Hey drumming friends, Josh Lappin from PartTimeDrummer.com, and today I just wanted to make a little video to share with you the 7 drum method books that have influenced me the most and that I've gotten the most value out of. Now I've gotten these 7, and then I've got an actual bonus book that I wanted to share with you as well. I've arranged these books from easy to hard in the levels, and the first couple of books are going to deal with the snare drum only, because one of my philosophies, if you follow me, is that I believe you should always start off with the snare drum as kind of your foundation and build that up and be really good with that before you move on to the rest of the drum set. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the books here today. The book that I recommend for beginners the most is the Ludwig Drum Method. And this was actually published by the Ludwig company and the founder. This book is pretty old. I can't remember the actual publishing date, but it's pretty old. It's been around a long time. It's not easy to find this book anymore, but I think you can find it from some publishers and from Amazon. But if you can, it's a great book for beginners. Obviously, this book covers the snare drum is what it does, and it's really great also for learning how to sight read. So if you're a beginner or you need to learn how to read drum music, fantastic book. Starts with the basics and builds you all the way up to where you can play some solos on your own and some 16th note patterns. It also covers a lot of the rudiments. So it's a really, really great book for beginners. Also, if you're a drum teacher too and you're looking for something to share with your students, I highly recommend this book. All right, after that, one of my favorites also for snare is the classic, which is Master Studies by Joe Morello. This book is full of hand exercises. I wouldn't recommend this for a brand new drummer, but after you've maybe gone through that Ludwig drum method or so, you might be ready for this. It's great for developing your hands and your technique on the snare drum as well. And then the third book that I love to work out of for snare drum is actually a Rudimental and marching snare drum technique book. This is from Jeff Queen, and it's called The Next Level Rudimental Snare Drum Exercises. So if you've ever been in marching band or you like that kind of style, it's really good for that. But it's also just great for developing advanced level coordination on the snare drum, going through all kinds of rudiments and different hybrid rudiments and applications. Really great book for that and developing those kind of techniques. So those are my favorite kind of intro books, snare drum related books. And then we move on into the books that are helpful and useful for developing coordination on the drum set. The first one that I like to use, again for beginners or for those of you who are just getting started, or for the drummers who need to learn how to read well. It's a book called Today's Sound for Drum Set, and it's by this guy called Houliff. This book is not easy to find either. It's also another very old book, but this is one of the original books that I trained out of like 20 years ago, so it's been around a long time. But I think you still can find it on Amazon and some other random publishers. But what this book is, it's great for beginning level drum beats. It takes you all the way from quarter notes all the way up to 16th note drum beats, and it also covers, it goes into styles just a little bit, some really basic styles, Latin styles and things like that, but it's primarily a foundational drum method book for rock and rock beats. But it's really good for developing that basic coordination off the when you're in the beginning stages. And then after that, I recommend for developing more advanced rock and get into some funk drumming, this book called Progressive Independence Rock by Ron Spagnardi. This guy's put out a lot of different books too, so if you just want to check out that guy alone, get on Amazon and things like that. He's put out a lot of stuff, and every book that I've ever gone through of his is really, really good. So this is a pretty thick book. There's a lot of beats in this book. So if you can play through this book and understand the concepts and play these beats well, you'll be well on your way to being a good drummer. He's great for independence. He goes through independence for your hi-hat and ride cymbal, independence for your left foot as well, using the hi-hat for opening and closing, and also goes through a lot of different 16th note bass beats. So it's a really great book for those of you who need to work on your independence and things like that. Also, by the same author, Progressive Independence, and this is the comprehensive guide to basic jazz drumming technique. So same guy here, Ron Spagnardi. Like I said, he put a lot of good books out. This is great if you're wanting to learn the basics of jazz and you need to get some jazz coordination down. Again, another thick book here, over 120 pages of exercises. You could really develop some serious independence using this book here. He uses just the basic jazz ride beat throughout the whole book, but you really gain some really strong snare drum and bass drum independence, as well as developing really strong hands and feet because you go extensively into triplets and things like that. So definitely would recommend this book as well. And then the final book that I like to recommend for those of you who want to work on different styles is Groove Essentials. This is the 1.0. I think there's other versions since then that he's put out, but this is by Igoe. Fantastic book for learning the different styles on the drums. Got all kinds of different styles. The book is packed with styles and information. It usually comes either with a CD or a DVD, and there you can watch him apply these beats to like a song, and I think you can play along with some of them as well. So it's great for if you need to learn your styles and things like that, different styles. So definitely recommend checking these out. So those were my top 7 method books for snare drum and independence. Like I said, they're going from easy to hardest, from like a basic to a more advanced player. But I wanted to throw one more in here, a bonus book here. And this is great. It's just for fun. If you never worked through this book before, you'd probably be just perfectly fine as a drummer. But if you wanted to take and spice up your drumming to kind of the next level, this is kind of what this book is about. This is called Bass Drum Control, and it's by Colin Bailey. This book is primarily centered on developing bass drum technique, but it's for single pedal only, so just wanted to put that out there. But if you can play these exercises, you'll have a fantastic foot, I can tell you that. I have played through this book, and like I said, really helped me develop strength in the bass drum foot. But it also goes into kind of the third hand concept, where you're using the bass drum as part of drum fills. So there's a lot of different applications for this. It's really helped me to develop different patterns around the drum set using the bass drum as kind of an extra hand there, giving you some more creative grooves and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely check that out, and I think there's a CD that goes along with this as well. So there you have it, my top 7 drum method books, as well as a bonus book. Check those out. Get on the Amazon, search it in Google. You should be able to find these books somewhere. And they all range from about $10 to $20. So you can take one of those books and work through it for a couple months and have plenty of stuff to work on. So there you have it, my top method books. Check them out. Again, this is Josh Lappin from PartTimeDrummer.com. If there's anything we can do to help you out to become a better drummer, just hit us up on our website and we'll get back to you. Until next time, get out there and get some practice done.